Luana Rubin from Equilter.com, and I'm here at the 2013 Festival of Quilts in Birmingham, UK. I'm here in the Russian quilt booth with quiltmaker Anatolii, and he's going to tell us about 3 of his beautiful quilts.
Yes.
Anatolii, can you tell us about this group of golden quilts here?
The idea came to me when I read that every woman has a soul, and there are 5 different souls that women have, and I depicted these souls as birds. All women of the world are Madonnas to me. The symbol of Madonna is known in different countries, in different religions have Madonnas, and all women are represent Madonnas to me. These Madonnas are thinking about their loved ones and about their souls in my pictures. All my works are made in such a way that people looking at it can draw their own conclusions and have emotions of their own, not only ideas that I want to show, but their own emotions.
Well, I'd like to go and look at another quilt that you've created, and I'd like to ask you about how you got started as a quilter. Anatolii, I love this piece. It's one of the quilts that caught my eye when I walked in here, and I wondered if you could tell us about the inspiration of this quilt.
The town where I live is an ancient Russian town. It's more than 600 years old. And the founders of this town were monarchs. They built beautiful churches, beautiful monasteries, and that's how the town started. That's why we have the churches in our town.
And what is the name of that town?
Как называется город?
Город Киров, а старинный Вятка.
This is Kirov, regional center, Kirov, but before the revolution it was called Vyatka. They changed the name.
Okay. And I want to ask also, you said that you grew up in this town. Can you tell us about how you got started in quilting? Was it in this town or when you were older?
I started quilting thanks to 2 women. One of them is my teacher, who was a teacher of textile arts. And I had this teacher at the art school. And art school I finished in Kirov, my native town. And the second woman is my wife. His wife is a fashion designer. And thanks to these 2 women, he started making quilts.
So does that mean that you raided her stash, that you borrowed her fabrics when you got started?
I have never had a collection of fabrics. I've never made my own stash. What I do, I make sketches, and after I made a sketch, I go to the shop and I choose the fabrics I use for this particular work. I don't like hoarding fabric.
Okay. Well, I can see that you really appreciate women, and that leads us to the next quilt that we're going to look at.
I love it.
Yes.
Ой, прелесть моя!
So it is obvious in your quilts that you have this sensitivity to women, and I knew when I saw this quilt that there was a story behind it. Can you tell us the story, please?
This is actually not a story. This is the idea for some exhibition, and the theme was movement. And I thought that if there were no women, there wouldn't be any movement in our life. There wouldn't be anything, because this is a woman who gives birth to a new person, and this is how life moves forward.
And is there one woman who inspired this idea?
It's always my wife. My wife is the greatest inspiration for me. Yes, so going back to this movement theme of the quilt, he stresses that connection of movement with the birth ability of women that let us live further. And of course, for this you need a name, and that's why all my quilts about women, first and second is love, of course.
Oh. Well, I think your wife must be very lucky to be your muse.
Благодарю.
Thank you very much.
Я ей передам.
I will tell her.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time, Anatolii.
И вам спасибо.
It was wonderful to have a look at your work,
Спасибо.
and we'll be sure to share that with many other people.